Hey, welcome back. I'm Rick, and if you are new here, this is Rick's World Studio. This is my studio, located in my back garden. You can see the sun is out today, so I do need to give these windows a clean. That's a job for another day. But for now, my studio, you can see, it was tidied yesterday. And then I had someone round yesterday evening to show him some work. It's a writer for potentially looking at doing some work on my Darkwood series of pictures. Anyway, so studio's kind of exploded. I'm going to use the opportunity to scan in some pictures, which are from my old sketchbooks. So let me come over here. Let me show you what I'm doing. Normally in here lives a series of sketchbooks. A lot of these are my Darkwood sketchbooks. So when I finish drawing these books, you can see it's quite a few pages all off drawn. What normally happens is they get folded up and just put away, and that's where they normally live. Until recently, I started now scanning in these images onto my website. So you can see I'm just scanning in one image there, and then let me just show you what I got here. So this is an old sketchbook. I'm just going through some of these images here and seeing which ones I want to scan in for my Darkwood series. So any sort of characters that might lend themselves to this world, I'll scan in and use as part of my Darkwood. Some of these pictures will become paintings, but this is one of a series of old sketchbooks. These sketchbooks come out once a year for the art trail, and a lot of people are really interested. So I've been going through, well, they're not the best in terms of staying alive. So this is one I've bound on the edges quite a few times. Look at the state of that book. And this was, have I dated this book? Let's have a look. This is the very first Darkwood book. That's Bisto. I've probably got a date on some of the pictures here. 2004, I think, this one. So yeah, so some of these are extremely old. And the books come out, we'll say, once a year, but they don't tend to last the amount of people who turn the pages over. So I'm constantly having to repair these books, but I thought I'll scan them all in. It's taken a long time to scan in, and when I scan these pictures in, I'll go through my workflow and show you what I do once they're scanned in, what software I use, and then how I print them out as well. I wrote a little intro here. I sit staring out of the window of a train. This is where most of the ideas came from, actually, when I used to commute to and from London. So yeah, so let me just take you through a workflow and show you. Oh, okay. Here's one that is ideal for my Darkwood. Okay, so let's scan this one in, and then I'll show you what I do with it once it's on the computer. As this book is a little bit bigger than the scanner, I'm going to hold it down. Okay, so it's just press down flat onto the scanner, straightforward, and then I'll just do a quick preview. Right, okay, so it doesn't matter if it's upside down. I'll just select the image and then scan away. Okay, so this one's been scanned in. What else do we have? That's another potential. Again, in pencil. So a lot of early sketches were just purely done in pencil. A little bit quicker than the pen in some ways. This is going to be a painting, so we'll leave that one. What else do we have in here? Some of these lend themselves, let's say, to and this could be kind of Darkwood, maybe a little bit too dark for Darkwood. That's very modern. This character. Ideal for Darkwood, so I think I'll scan this one in next, and she's now become a member of the Darkwood community. And a little bit of behind the scenes. So while I'm working away, down by my feet, you can see that with the two dogs, they're like this for a good 2, maybe 3 hours sometimes, constantly playing, tonguing, biting, having a scramble on the floor. So this is my day-to-day life with having 2 doggos in the studio. It's so funny, they just keep going and then they stop and flake out. So good good companions to have, but it can drive you insane. Right, just a quick deviation. I made this. You see, it's a little face. Now I made this so that I could stop looking at myself in the camera, and I would start looking at the face in the camera. So I've now got a face tracker, so it's something to focus on while I am doing my little YouTube sessions. So yeah, a little tool, and it's a scrap piece of paper, got the hole cut out, and it kind of works. Yes, so what I thought I'll do is, rather than go through some of the old scans, I would use this opportunity to show you what I do. So this is the last sketch from the Darkwood series of drawings. This was on the last video, so I took you through the pencil line to the inking in stage. So this is finished now. What I tend to do is scan these in. I'm trying to get into a habit, as soon as the drawing's finished, I scan them in and get them print ready for my website. Okay, which you can look at www.ricksworld.uk. There's a little plug there. Please check it out. Anyway, so I'll quickly show you the workflow for scanning in, tidying up. Because this is a double page, there's obviously you get the crease line where the page is shown there on the scanned in image. And I'll have to go through and just either color correct, because sometimes the double-sided pages, one side will look slightly darker than the other side. And then also any sort of slight deviation from lines where it goes from one side to the other side. I'll try and keep the lines as close as I can to where they should be, but they don't always line up when you scan them in. Okay, so these are the four masked bandits. So let's take you through that workflow. Right, okay, so image has been scanned in. This is a raw image. You can see the corners of the moleskin sketchbook showing on the scan. So what I tend to do, first of all, is to tidy up those corners. There's a clone tool, which is ideal, especially with the pen work, because you don't get a consistent black. So I tend to use the clone tool for all the tidy up. But if I just select an area here, this is where we want to clone from, to this white section here, and then just come across and then just slowly tidy up. So that edge is nice and tidy. What you can also do is, you can see here, there's pencil marks, so we can come in and get rid of those. You always get a little bit of pencil mark on the paper. Right, let's just zoom in onto this section here. Like I mentioned before, we got this drawn hand arm for this character here. The posture was not working, so I whited it out on the sketchbook. It's only lightly whited out. I was going to come back in and on the sketchbook repaint this area so it disappears completely. But with Photoshop, what you can do, you can just select, let's select some of the background that we want to use. So select this area here, and then we can just go through, and then you can see we just get rid of this section. You got to be careful with the clone tool, because obviously what happens is that wherever you're selecting as your point, you can see as it goes across, the little cross arrow tracks the clone tool. Okay, so this is where you're cloning from. So we got to keep coming back and reselecting the area you want to use as a clone tool, or as the clone reference. And you can see very quickly, it's a nice way of tidying up an image. So if you're going to make a digital copy, this is something you have to do anyway for this. You can see the crease mark of the 2 pages on the moleskin. So what I'll do, I'll go through, I'm going to tidy up just this area here, and it's always a good idea to do small sections at a time. So you hold your mouse button and release, so that when you need to do an undo, for example, you can step back slowly rather than getting rid of everything at once. Okay, so again, rather than go straight in here, I need to select an area, because I'm going to track across. I need to select an area up here, and then I can just track across and follow this contour. Now for if you want a real sense of detail you can get into, you can zoom in onto these lines here. you can take your clone tool, let's just make it smaller, and then you can come back in and then you can follow these lines here. You don't want to make the lines too sharp or lose all of these sketch lines, because that's the whole point of the drawing. They are sketch drawings. What we're trying to do is get rid of this crease mark where the page is divided into two. Okay, and the same with the blade here on the knife. So we select this area here, and we can come back in and just take out this crease mark here. Now you can, once you get into a certain area where there's a slight color differentiation between the two pages, rather than make it so obvious, what you can do, let me just come back here, get rid of that. You can change the opacity, select the area, and then just use it as a way of blending in the lines. Okay, so you can see now you got a nice transition from one page to the other page. And again, I'll come back in here and do the same here. If you want to grab a line, you can select the area where you want to take the line here, and then just draw it across. And then now what we can do is just get rid of that section there, go back up here. It's always a constant case of tidying up. And then okay, so we'll come back here. Another tidy up there. Right. So if I come back up here and then just tidy up, and I'll zoom out and you can just see how this is tidied up this line here. Let's go for get rid of that line there. I'm going to probably come back in here, up here, and then just replace that line there and draw it all the way down. So you get a nice continuation. Just take that top line out there. Okay. So if I zoom out now, let's put it on the screen. Now you can see that whited out initial drawing that shows the arms up here holding a staff, and the page crease and the blade have disappeared now. So what I'll do, I'll keep working through this whole drawing. So in the truest sense of Blue Peter, here's one I prepared earlier. So these are the 4 masked bandits. You can see that the crease line is gone now. I've tidied up some of the lines, but I kept the true sense of the drawing. If I wanted to, I can come back in and play around with the backgrounds a little bit more. But for now, that's good enough. So it's taken the drawing from the page, and it's now scanned in and it's created a master file. Okay, so I've taken you through and shown you the workflow for the scanned in images, how I correct the image, remove the center line for the pages. It's only when that's complete and I've added the image to the standard template I have for my Darkwood series that it pops up onto my website. So please go and have a look on the website. It's been up for a while now. I'm adding more and more images for Darkwood, but you'll see all the other paintings, some old commission work, some old drawings, and this Britain series of paintings as well. So yeah, please have a look. There's more to come on this channel, so thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe and to hit that little notification bell wherever it is on the screen for more content. And see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.